right? Now, there are times where I purposely do not customize. Say it's a technician lead, and I've gone out there and I've done everything. I've got some obligation for the customer, price conditioning, all the things we do. When you go to a customer in a situation and they have no heat, it's a crisis situation, I call it. What are they worried about? They're worried about you're going to take advantage of the crisis situation. Right? I have no heat. This guy knows I have no heat. What's going to happen? This is when I find computerization really helps. Before I go there, I talk to the technician. I prepare my presentation, all the prices and everything right. It's already done. All right? So when I talk to Mr. and Mrs. Smith and I work it out, I come and I don't do any figuring. I turn and I present right away. Now, why do I do that? See, it's in the computer. Something that's about the computer, it's like everybody pays that. All right? They don't have to know that the price is priced higher because of the situation. I'm just presenting to them, so it puts that, all right, he's like, they see me typing and doing a lot of figuring. Oh, he's adding because I don't have heat. It's Friday afternoon. And they know it's going to come tomorrow, right? So there's other ways. Now, the other reason why I like doing it, it's a lot harder for me to give a presentation to somebody because it's electronically. But whether it was or not, I'll cover both topics. So Augustus says, well, can't you just live with me? I said, well, I could do that. But you know what? I don't think it would be really great service to me just to let you think about all these different things. So, of all these top ones, what do you think this top one is? Is this something that you think you're not interested in? Or do you think you're interested in that? The top one, do you like that?
That's too much money.
Which, all right, let's just eliminate that one. All right? Now, what should we do?
Look at the next one.
Okay, let's look at the bottom one. Do you think you're going to go cheap on this? Do you think you're going to go with that?
No, that's would it be louder if I bought the cheaper one?
Well, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't know anything about heating and air conditioning.
What happens when it's cheap? Is it usually better or worse?
Well, that depends on how long I'm going to live in my house.
Yeah, but I was talking about noise now. You have to go louder.
Usually it's louder.
Yeah, I'll go with you. Let's get rid of that one.
Okay.
All right, what should we do?
Yeah, I understand.
All right, see what I'm doing? So now I'm using the presentation as a process of elimination. What happens if I don't have 6 options?
Hey, Rick, talk about like when, and then the question he's asking is that people are going to present barriers to like that kind of barrier, like leave it behind, right?
Right.
It's like that. This is the moment that your service either kicks in or you decline to give service. You know, it's good. Yeah, figure it out yourself. It's like yesterday we went, that great looking shirt we bought, Rick. Yeah,
my luggage is still in luggage
his
land.
Luggage got lost. Rick's luggage got lost from American Airlines. So I have a negative review for American Airlines.
Yes.
They said, do it yourself. You find your own luggage.
Yeah, that's right.
And so we had to go to the Macy's yesterday, and the woman said, hey, do you have any? We said we knew exactly what we wanted. Short sleeve dress shirt for button down dress shirt. Yeah, we got them over there on the other side. Over there, just go to the wall and look over and look for the
Perry Ellis.
Perry Ellis. They got something over there, and all she's doing is just folding shirts. You know what I'm saying? There? And so
and Joe said, "Boy, I guess folding shirts is more important than you, Rick."
I said, "Yeah, I guess you're not as important." I said, "I guess folding a shirt, folding a T-shirt. It wasn't even folding a good shirt. Just folding T-shirts." You know what I'm saying? There?
I guess if I wanted a T-shirt, I would have been all set.
Then we come back again. We're like, "Yeah, we couldn't really find anything over there." Oh, look in the bargain bin right next door. The bargain bin's like literally 4 feet away from us.
And I
hey,
said, I look like I'm looking for a bargain.
Find.
I guess I wasn't dressed very nice, but
yeah. So that's the thing about it. So looking at that, her passion for service. Is what? How would you gauge that? Yeah, so take it home and look for your own shirt. You know, you could probably. I was surprised she didn't say, "Yeah, go home and look online. There's all kinds of shirts you could buy. They're actually cheaper if you go on eBay or something." You know, it's like, what kind of service is that? So the passion for service has got to be. You don't listen to people saying don't do it. If you work as a baggage person at a hotel, which this hotel doesn't have a baggage person really. They actually do have a baggage person. And he's not bad. He's kind of like an upper, he's not upper class, but he's kind of a better than mediocre, let's say, right? He asks you at least, you went through the luggage, and he has the cart. Let me go ahead and help you with the luggage. He has the cart. He brings the cart along like he expects to do it. Other luggage guys would say, you need help with that? They have no luggage cart, just kind of standing there picking their fingernails. Need some help with the luggage? Oh, good. He doesn't need help. You know, another guy just says, wait for you to ask him. You know, can you help with luggage? Oh, geez, I'm kind of busy right now. You know, and then there's a really good luggage guy, the baggage guy. He wouldn't even ask you anything. Guess what he would do? Just grabs your luggage and makes you stop him. He says, "Yeah, I'm getting. Hello, Mr. Picard. Let me get your luggage." He just starts grabbing it. There's no asking any question. He just does it. So when somebody gives you that resistance, Mitchell, There's no need to ask them for permission to help. Good service is no. You don't need to say, hey, do you need help working through this presentation? They're going to say, no, just leave it here and I'll keep it. So in this point, you just say, you know what? I understand you want to keep the presentation. Before we even get into that, let's just take away that top option. You're not interested, like Rick says. You just go into it and start carrying the luggage.
So let's suppose that you narrow that down. And then, and again, I don't know, we live in California. There's a lot of really high tech-savvy people, and I can get it on the internet or whatever the case is. So we get down to this bottom option. So yeah, I think Rick, this is the one I'd really like to zero in. Now, can you give me this presentation, because I'm going to get online and I want to look at the reviews on this furnace and this air conditioner and this coil, and I want to look up the consumer reports and what's the durability of it. So why don't you go ahead and leave that with me, and we're going to get back to you, because that is a very, very common.
I can appreciate that, Mitch, but let me ask you a question. What did I do to make you feel like you had to do all that?
Oh, no, nothing. You did great.
You know, what happens is, and I've heard this before, but you know what kind of worries me about this? Sometimes when people get so focused on equipment and this type of technical things, they're really missing out on what's important. Don't you think you could probably buy that furnace I'm offering you pretty much anywhere?
Right.
All right. But what can't you get from me that you get from anybody else?
I don't know.
Well, me. Last time I checked, I don't work for my competition.
And this is after you made that whole presentation.
Right.
That had all those options.
So, you know, what happens is that the danger of me getting too technical, giving you all this about that, and you go look online, is it tends to focus people in the wrong area. Let me ask you, what if you got that furnace and it wasn't installed properly?
Oh, yeah, and then I'd have to have it done again, or
Right.
maybe I'd have to go to the contractor state license board.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure you have all kinds of time to do that kind of stuff, right? Now, how about if it wasn't installed safely?
Yeah, heaven forbid something catches on fire.
Right. So you think it's more important to buy a product or buy a company?
Yeah, makes sense.
Right, so what should we do?
Well, you have to also question, what would the guy on the internet do? How would the licensing board talk to the guy on the internet? You know, how would they get a hold of him?
I think I was misrepresenting. It's what happens is it's not so much that they.
Mitchell, you're not representing anything.
No,
We've been there, right there.
Yeah.
People give the exact. You think you got new excuses and smarter customers in California? Sacramento is it's the frickin' wealth of some information and smarter customers.
Very well, but once in a while
Right.
there is and again, I'm just a salesperson. I don't own a company.
Right.
And I did pretty well last year. I'm here because I want to do better. And the way that I do better is to learn what you guys are doing. So
Right,
I can
absolutely, that's right. I know exactly what you're saying.
Right.
You know, whenever, and I can just say the answer to that, anytime people start looking into technical or product-based, I find it's best to redirect their focus.
Shift the focus.
Shift
Like
the
Danielle
focus.
did this today. They said, hey, how much does it cost for a service call? Well, let's get into the service aspect of what we do first. She just ignores that price thing and goes right into the service. She doesn't have to ask the people, hey, can I get permission to not talk about price first? She just goes into the other aspect of it. And that's what sales is all about. It's redirecting the mind. The mind is focused on one thing. The essence of persuasion and influence is to get people to look at something different than the way. Look at the same issue in a different way. Their lens is all about price, all about the internet, right? My lens is child molesters on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Right? It's like that's why I look at it. Like I got child molesters and people who are predators on the internet. That's who's on the internet. Way I look at it. You know what I'm saying? So she's looking like the solutions out there online, right? Now I can't say that to her.
Right.
But But what does it do? It stokes my passion to say I'm not letting this lady buy something online. That's just ridiculous. In my head, that's what's going through. How do you feel about that, Rick? And that's where the passion, the hair in the back of my neck stands up, and the chill goes down my spine. And said, "No way am I turning this nice lady over to the people on the internet."
Right.
And you got to have that
and
feeling.
also, it tells me if I keep on hearing a customer. Remember, I told you, assume it's you. If I have customers keep on telling me they're going to look up things on the internet, then it's telling me that I'm not doing a good enough job helping them to see differentiating myself from my company.
And if somebody says that to you, you just learn the truth about yourself. That you are no value. That a strange person who may be a felon or anybody, he's more credible than the person sitting in front of me right now.
It sounds like to me that in some sales training, because as a good salesperson, you listen to it all, and you take this little piece and that little piece. And most sales training is focused on closing. Closing is this much, and it seems like your focus is presenting is this much, and the natural conclusion is you're going to sign something.
I think it's quite right. I think here's what I would say: the presenting is something that has to be earned. You will not make in this system. You will not make a presentation unless you are convinced that the job is sold. It's just which one are they going to pick. So if you're not convinced, if there's something, a door that's open, that's standing in the way of closing this deal, and you haven't closed that door yet, you still. What Rick would say is probably, would you say 90% of the job is about handling objections, looking for the way that people are going to screw this job over on you, and then stopping it before it happens, having a conversation about it, and doing that, and then saying, "Here's my options." Then the options are easy. Which one do you want to pick? You already told me you hate the competitor, that you didn't like the way they presented things. The one guy had a voicemail, didn't even take the answer to calls right. Then you had the other guy who urinated in your sump pump. You told me about that one. So this is all stuff that's going in your head, and you say, well, they said they want this thing done by today. Husband and wife are here. It's like, oh my God! It's like all the stars are lining up, right? So now you heard everything that you believe, and you have the passion that says, there's nothing in the way of this thing anymore. Everything's all in alignment. I make the 6 options. Now your expectation has changed. Before you're like, Before you might have saying, I hope I sell this job. Now you're saying, this job is sold. Which one are they going to go with? I'm not sure.
So it's the customer gets to see the price when they've earned the right to see it.
You're right. Exactly, and also it makes sense that way. Let me give you an example. What if a customer says to you, Mitch, I want the cheapest price. Cheapest price gets the job. And then you go and show 6 options. Does that make any sense?
No, because it tells her that I didn't listen.
Right, you didn't listen. You don't deserve the job because she's going to say, wait a second, why is Mitch showing me 6 options? I told him when he came in, only a cheapest price got the job. So what Joe's saying is, before I would give the 6 options, I have to handle that objection.
So when somebody says, hey, just so you know, Rick, cheapest price gets the job, what do you say to that?
I can appreciate that you're probably looking for a good value. But Joe, when you say cheapest price, do you mean cheapest to own or cheapest to buy or cheapest to own over the period of time?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, we have things that can be very cheap to buy up front, but I'm sure you're not concerned about warranty at all.
Well, yeah, I am. I want a good warranty.
Oh, you want a better warranty?
Yeah.
And I bet if I was a guest, you don't care about noise. I could have something to be really, really loud, but it'd be cheap.
Are you kidding? I love the furnace. I have to turn the remote control up all the time. I can't even stand that.
So now you're concerned about quietness.
Yeah, I definitely want it quieter.
And efficiency, you really don't care about if it costs a lot to run?
Well, of course I want to heard it saves me money. I want to save me money too.
How about comfort? You don't care about whether it's even comfort or any of that?
Are you just shitting me? What are you talking about?
I'm kind of messing with you, Joe, aren't I? No, I forgot to say it to me. I'm kind of messing with you, Joe. But now I'm confused, Joe, because you told me you wanted the cheapest thing.
Uh-huh.
Now, do you think the cheapest thing is going to be quieter, use less energy, have better warranty, provide best comfort?
Oh, shit. No.
So why don't I do this? I'm going to set you free.
Oh, what do you mean?
What I'm going to do is, when I provide for you 6 different solutions, maybe 6 or 7, 8 different solutions, and now you're free to pick something cheap, like you said, you want something cheap, or maybe something better.
Huh. Okay.
All right, let's do it that way.
There you go. So you handle the objection.
But now does it make sense when I give them to him?
So now you don't have to have the objection later on. You talked about value before you gave a price. Here's the thing about it. Rick, do you feel having the price on the table gets in the way of a really good discussion with customers? Do you feel like that?
Yeah, I would say it's true.
So having great discussions with customers should happen not after the price is on the table, which you can be a good, believe me, we can be good closers too. I can show you my ninja moves if you want to, and so can Rick, but that's not what it's about, because if you're going to unleash those things, that's like your last step, your last desperation effort to frickin' put the nuclear bomb on these people. You could do that too, okay? But the biggest thing is I like to have it nice and easy. People just select it. How do you do that though? It's interesting, creative conversations where you see a barrier in the way, that little yellow light in your head that says, this call sucks, I'm not going to sell this job. Why is that? Why do you think you're not selling it? Because they mentioned cheap before. If you didn't have a conversation about that, that's shame on you. It's not the customer's fault you didn't clear that up. That's your fault.
And even take Mr. Glittenstein as an example, Dr. Glittenstein. When I was done with that job, and I said, so Dr. Glittenstein, I realized you had 3 other people here that were here before me. Why'd you buy from me and not them? He said, well, you're the only one I spoke to.
The only guy you talked to. And on top of it, the only guy on Sunday, too. The only guy who
You're the one I spoke to. You know what I mean? And it was obvious I was there Sunday, so he knew what I went to get there to see him. So I showed him the value. Now, if I did everything everybody else and I left my presentation, would I deserve $35,000 for the job? There's no shortcut. You got to earn it. All right? So then I said to him another thing. I said, so Dr. Glittenstein, this other guy, the first guy that was here that told you it was $4,000, he's been servicing you for 15 years, your wife said. So what are you going to tell him? Well, I'm going to tell him his price was too high. I said, Doctor, why are you going to do that? He says, well, I don't want to hurt his feelings.